Welcome viewers to another live stream from Time to Go. In this live stream we're going to be looking at the Vsysto web camera system, or not a web camera, it's a motorcycle dash cam system. It has two cameras, front and rear. It has a display and it also has a remote control on the which you mount on handlebars so you can control the different views. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the system which we've took off my previous motorbike, which was the NC750X, and I marked it all up before when I took it off. It's been not used for about 2 months, so in this video we're going to power it up and see if it still works. Here we have the system, and this is the head unit, and this is the it's quite solid, very heavy and well made, well sealed, and it has a GoPro type adapter on the back here which mounts it to the handlebars. It has various connectors, quite a few connectors, and the camera is this here. Now these aren't the standard cameras that you get with the system. All you get is this the round bullet shaped camera, and this bit here has been 3D printed and the lens has been laser cut on a laser cutter to go in there. So that's the front camera. The rear camera I've already fitted. It also has a GPS module, so it knows where it is. It gives you altitude, pressure, speed and other various bits of information such as time and all that sort of thing from that. So let's get it plugged in and see where we go from there. I've got a power supply here. It goes up to 30 volts, but we only need 12. Now this power supply unit here, it says it's a 9 to 24 volts input with an output of 5 volts. And also it's a 15 watt output, so it's not a massively big one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plug the power supply unit into the head unit. Now there's a lot of cables here, so this one here I've marked 1, this here is the other one, so we put 1 and 1 together. These plugs have a little tiny notch on one side, and that notch lines up with the notch on the plug. They all have O-ring seals on them, so when you plug these together they are really waterproof. Twist it slightly so you get a nice fit and then push it in, and when you put it on the bike, I'm not going to do this with all of them, you screw that tight to make sure that you it's a solid seal. So we have other things we're going to plug in here as well. One of them is a remote control switch, and this is where you can change the views on the camera. I had to take a bit of plastic out of here because this one doesn't fit on my motorbike. The handlebar is a lot bigger in diameter than the NC, so I might have to make a little piece of something to go in there to make it fit properly, but we'll get to that at a later date. So this says switch on it, so I need one that says switch. Now here's a wire. This wire here says switch. That says switch. Now let's put them together. It shouldn't take too long to get this together, I don't think. Hoping not anyway. Then we have another one here. It says 2. 2 is the GPS. This one here, the GPS module. Now I haven't used any data from the GPS, but I'm hoping that I can get the data from the GPS to use on my GoPro footage. But I don't know how to get the data off that. I don't even know if it's possible. So we plug them in, and this one goes to A. There's A. A goes to A. Now with any camera system on a motorbike or a car, any information you can get if you're having an incident of any kind is better than no information. These aren't the highest quality. This is the front camera. This is the front camera. Yeah, these aren't the highest quality, but they're really reasonably good for the price. This is only about 130 quid, which is not too bad for 2 cameras, the module and everything. So that's the camera plugged in. We have another white lead here which goes to B. Now I need something to plug into there. I'm going to plug in that. I know what that is. That's the other, that there is the other camera. I've already put the rear camera on the motorbike. I did that today, so that's for the rear camera. I'm not going to be using that. So let's power it up. Let's put the power on it and see if we get any sparks. Turn the voltage up to about 12, like so. Just put in a connection there. Right, now that's got power on it. Now it also has this here, which is a sense lead. So when the motorcycle's turned on and off, this tells it to turn on, the unit to turn on, but you need to put a positive onto here. When I install this on the bike, this is going to have to go to something like the side lights or the something or other to get it to activate it. So I put this onto the positive. It should power up. Something's happened there, so let's see. So it has powered up. So let me show you what that. I don't know if you can see that really well there with the way it is, but if not, you will see it in the video when I've installed it on the bike. But it has the camera there. It seems to be working. Here you can see the control. Remote is flashing. So we can change the views on here. If I can remember how to do it. That's changing the that might be better. That's changing the data. You've got the trip and speed. And there you have the time, your battery voltage, which is a handy thing to have on a motorbike. And there you have the date, the time and the day. And here you have the GPS settings. Now the GPS settings has your position, it gives you altitude, and I think that's all it does. And then there's a short-term trip memory there, so when I get this on the bike I will show you how that all works. Here are the settings. You can go into here and you can play some of the videos that are on there already, like so. So you can play it directly from the unit if you want to. Well, it seemed to work. I'm happy with that. Let's stop that for a moment. Tomorrow I'll be fitting this on my bike. Now I know it's all done working. GPS won't work inside, but it'll work outside. Hopefully I'll get a good signal in there. If we look at the quality of the videos, I have had people asking what's the quality of this camera, and I'm going to show you now how good or how bad it is. And here's the first one. I'll just show you this one. Pop this one up on the screen for you. Here is the video. This is the front camera, and this was taken quite a while ago. 11th November, 24th November last year. And this was during the day, probably on my way to work by the looks of it, the way it's showing. And if you look at here, you can see that registration number there pretty clearly. And I was probably about 10 to 20 yards away, something like that. So if you were having any sort of collision or anything, you would definitely see the registration number within the distance of the collision. Basically, you don't really need to see it there on the other side of the road. Let's see if we can see anything on this. No, it can't see anything on the other side of the road. No, it's okay when it's right in front of it. Anything that's sort of reasonably stable, it should be okay. There's a picture of what it looks like when you're close up to something. Let's see if we can find another one. This is what it's like on a sunny day. It's the front number plate on that car is extremely clear. It's 108p, this camera, so it should be reasonably good. And I've never had any reason to use it, to be honest. I've seen the footage and things, but I've never used it for anything. Now this is where I must have went to a motorcycle shop. Let's have a look at some motorbikes while we're here, shall we? So there's your image. It's not too bad, really, I don't think. I don't know if you can read the text on there, but it's all right. So that's in the daylight. And let me see, this is through some riding along down the motorway, where you've got sort of sun and also shadows around. And again, for me, any type of camera you have a motorbike is worth it. And this camera here, this system will start and stop automatically while you're riding or before you ride. So as soon as you turn the ignition on, it's there. You don't have to worry about having your camera on your helmet or something like that. If you forget your camera on your helmet, your GoPro or whatever you've got, then this is just a little backup. I think I had one here of night time somewhere. I think I did. This one here. This is here. It was a dark night, not completely the night, but it was dark. And as you can see, the lights do a bit of blinding on the other side there. It's not perfect. You can't see the number plates at all. But I think for a dash cam stroke bike cam for that sort of price, I don't think you can go wrong. Here's where I'm stopped at traffic lights. And when you're stationary, the picture is very, very clear. Now, this camera also has a detection system, so that when your bike's parked up somewhere, if somebody hits it, it will take a recording as well. So that's another handy feature that it's got. So yeah, there's the quality. Oh, that was the front camera. Let me see if I've got any rear camera footage. Here's the rear camera. So looking at the motorbike from the rear, this is what you'll see. Now, as you can see, I've had some of the motorbike shown on there, but I'm hoping that the new position on the NT, I'm not going to have that. And it's pretty clear. Let's see if we can read that registration number behind me, which is what it says there. So I would recommend, if anybody wants a camera for the motorbike, this one here certainly does the job. And you're never going to get one that's going to be perfect, however much money you spend. Here's the rear camera on a sunny day. I'm not going to play too much more of this. I think you can get the idea now what the camera's like. And I'll post some proper clips on the YouTube when I get it all fitted. The rear camera I fit on my motorbike today, and here's where I've decided to fit it. That's the picture of the rear camera. I've stuck it on the back of the bike, and I've taken the wire up through the bottom of where that rear light is. There's a little gap under there, and that's where I've put it through the cable. So I did that one today. I'll probably do the front one tomorrow. Might get electronics in and things, and who knows, I might even give it a go. If you connect up the GPS, you get these extra displays on the side. This one being your speed and trip. And these are what you probably couldn't see it properly before. You have a short-term trip, which you can reset. You also have your GPS positions, which is these here. And this gives you your air pressure, your barometric pressure, your GPS coordinates, and that's your altitude there. So if you're doing any rides which are going up hills, mountains, anything like that, you can tell if you're going up a hill or down a hill, or how high you're going. It gives you your time, date, as I mentioned before. There's also a timestamp you can have on the videos. So it'll timestamp it with the date and time, but you don't have to have that on if you don't want to. Gives you battery voltage. So that was the purpose of the video today, was to just go through the Vsysto camera system. And as you can see, you've got it all now plugged in. it all works. All it needs to be done now is to disconnect that and put it on the motorbike tomorrow. And when the weather gets better, we'll be out on the bike doing a bit of riding. But this week was absolutely atrocious with the weather, wet every single day, so there was no time to go out on a ride, basically, apart from going to work and back and getting completely wet. But that's part of motorcycling. So thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one, and I will say bye bye for now. Take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend.